Hi everyone, today I will be discussing the syllables and affixes stage. The characteristics of this stage are pertain to students who are middle to upper elementary school. They're usually 8 to 12 years old, are becoming more familiar with intermediate reading and writing, such as spelling multisyllabic words, understanding spelling patterns with affixes, and how these affixes affect the meaning of words. A developmental description of this stage would be students are starting to learn how to spell compound words, plurals, simple inflectional endings, stress and accent on syllables, and finally prefixes and suffixes. But the students should already know the basic components of one-syllable words, short and long vowels, and initial digraphs and blends. So basically they're building off of their beginner knowledge. In the orthographic development areas, starting with reading, they're going to have greater fluency and skill, have many words stored in their memory for automatic retrieval, such as high-frequency words or basic words that they learned in the previous stages, and they're using syllabic and morphemic chunks to sound out words instead of just single letter sounds. For writing, they're also more fluent and confident and are expected to write longer pieces, sometimes over an extended period of time. And for word study, students have enough tools and strategies at this point to accumulate this through their independent reading practices, and will practice reading more complex books as they go through their studies. But it is always important to make sure it's developmentally appropriate. This is a table from Words Their Way, Chapter 7. It accurately describes the early, middle, and late stages, going from what the students already know to what the students confused during this period and what is absent, so what they will be learning through the next stage of, or through the next period of this stage. And for my teaching recommendations, I have 3 activities. My first one is a semantic map, which I thought was great. It makes it to where students can get a word or pick a word out of maybe their book that they're reading independently, and put their word in the middle and find a definition, use their own definition. Zoom in a little bit so you can see. Any prefixes or suffixes within that word, also antonyms, synonyms, and using an example of that word in a sentence. Pretty basic, but students can keep these maps as reference. For the second activity, it's going to be compound word activities or sorts, which students are pretty familiar with from the beginner stages. But basically, this sort is more complex in the way where it's describing the final AR, ER, or OR suffixes in a word, while also the students are instructed to cut out the words they are given and have top categories, splitting each type of final suffix and gluing them all down on their own piece of paper so that they're tactilely learning, seeing, and sounding out that word for themselves, but also keeping that word sort as a reference for them to understand the parts of that word and how it changes the meaning. My last activity is more fun. I thought it would be nice to ease up a little bit. It's a slapjack game where students are instructed to identify open or closed syllables, and the students are instructed to have a deck of cards and have it face down and flip it up at the same time. If both students have a open syllable, the student will slap the card to try to steal them. It's pretty straightforward, as in create and riot. You hear the vowel, as in liar, and fuel. You don't hear the syllable. So there you go.